right now.
Welcome to another episode of Sozo TV podcast, a place where we discuss matters that pertain to men and those who love them. A place where we discuss about relationships, about emotions, and things that men find engaging. Today we have an interesting topic. I'm sure a topic that has happened to one or all of us one time or the other, and we're going to be talking about butterflies in my stomach.
Ooh.
Before I go into that, I need to introduce my lovely panelists. To my right is the Don.
D-Don.
I'm sure you know the
Right
Don
here.
by now.
Right here. Right here.
Don is an entrepreneur, an author, an HR personality, an all-time polyglot,
A child of God.
a child of God.
Oh,
And then to my left,
We can keep it brief.
to,
We can keep it very
to
brief.
my left is my renowned OAP,
Thank you very much.
Presley Ademola. In fact, I
Yes,
need to just
yeah,
ask
let's
for-
just keep it short.
Just
Yeah,
ask for-
that works. Great
Okay.
to be here.
Having gone through introduction of my panelists, I need to now ask a question. Now, are butterflies in your stomach actually a sign of a healthy relationship? Or are we sometimes just chasing chemistry? You know that feeling? My heart races when it comes in. When I hear his voice,
he does.
my life changes. Oh, when I meet him or see his phone call, is the highlight of my day. You know, when I just hear his name mentioned, my heart says bim, 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 bim. Is that a sign of a healthy relationship? Or are we just fooling ourselves just about chemistry? And I'm going to be going to Presley. Now, this is
Oh my God.
I'm, going to go to Presley. I'm sure he's not expecting that. What do butterflies in my stomach? What does it really mean?
Is it weird that I'm thinking about a song? First of all,
Yeah, think about the song, it's fine.
there are two lines from the song that says, "Butterfly in my belly, it gives me energy." You know the song I'm singing.
Energy.
When you say, I'm not the one that wrote the song. All right, that's in the immortal words of a certain songstress that goes by name Arya Starr. I think that the question is like a setup. You know, when you say, do butterflies in the belly signal a healthy relationship? I feel like we're already taking things quite far. In the beginning stages, maybe that's a question that we can allow ourselves even tackle. First of all, do I think that there should be some excitement in the beginning stages? I actually thinking about it now. I think the entire time it's just that there needs to be some sort of a variation. I'm going to pass it to Don and then come back. Yes, Don.
Why
You
are
go
you
now.
passing it? You've
I'm
not
passing
said
it.
your own. Why are you passing
I've
it?
answered the bits that I can answer for now. This intro bits. Yeah.
Okay, so Don, you've been in this relationship marriage for 15 years plus now.
Yes.
Now, how has it been for you, your experience, for yourself and for people that are around you? This butterfly in my stomach, this passion, you know.
So when people say butterfly, what they typically would mean is that there's chemistry, right? And like you said, there's energy.
There we
When
go.
I see the person, I cannot breathe again, not even realizing that that's an asthmatic attack or something. But truth be told, at the initial time when you get to meet someone, there are a lot of chemical reactions
Yeah.
in your brain actually, and it's science. So you're drawn to the person, you want to see the person, you are all excited about the person at the beginning stage of your relationship. The problem, it's not a problem, but as a relationship progresses and
Right.
matures,
Right.
there's a lot more stability
Right.
in the marriage. And with that comes a reduction in all those chemical effects. And then with that reduction in chemistry, then comes the issue of, I don't know whether I feel love for him or I don't feel excited when I see the person. And truth be told, after your wife has run around the house chasing two little things, all from morning till night, she's getting food ready and everything, and then you want the lady to feel all chemistry, or it's not. I don't know whether to say reasonable, but at the initial stage, though,
Yeah.
chemistry is there. But as you progress in the relationship, there's a lot more stability. And with that,
This-
butterfly goes out
so
of the window.
if I cut in there, done. So what you call stability now, is it something like reality check?
Like real life sets in.
Real life setting,
Um,
reality check.
Is not you could call it real life check, but the thing is, what brings you together is not what keeps you together.
Hmm.
Do you
Wow.
understand? So, you are attracted at the beginning.
Yeah.
But attraction in itself is like a spark of a fire. But if there's no gasoline, right,
To sustain the fire.
you cannot cook food.
But Don, can I ask a question? And I just want, for the benefit of somebody that watches this or listens to this, I don't want them to miss or misconstrue what you just said to suggest that it's only in the beginning of your relationship or your meeting
That my attraction
exactly
reduce for my husband.
should it reduce, should it
for
die
my
at some
spouse.
point?
Yeah.
Or what you're saying is after a while, you just need to understand that there's a difference to how it manifests and how you appreciate it.
I guess so.
In other words, the anticipation, the thrill. Should I expect that after a while it will
It
go?
will go off. Yes.
So I'm not it. So it's not really the chemistry,
Yeah.
right? So at the beginning, it's chemistry that brings you together. But as you progress, a decision is what keeps you together.
Yes.
So, I was telling my daughters that I actually don't feel like paying their school fees. I did really I don't feel like paying my children's school fees, but
Right.
it's my responsibility.
It's your responsibility, right?
Right. So I was saying it to her, saying that she said she didn't feel like reading. I said, likewise, I don't feel like paying your school fees, but I have to pay your school fees. And there are times also that as a student, you don't, whether you feel like reading or not, you
Or
know
going
that
to
that's
school.
your responsibility at this stage of your life. So
Right.
you have to sit down with your book and be looking at it.
So I'll flip what you just said now. At times I don't feel as if I should love this person, but I have to bring myself to love this person because that is what is expected. That is what I signed up for.
But you will now, the question is, what is that love?
We'll get there.
Right.
Now, so
Right.
why do we chase this feeling, these butterflies? Why do we really chase it? Could it be the silhouette that we have read when we were growing up, the Mills and Moons? You didn't need Mills and Moons. You're looking at
I did.
Mills
No,
and Moons.
I did.
I read Mills and Moons. I read
I
silhouette. I read
Yeah.
Mikata. You know,
You
when
did?
when
No,
you
no.
see a scene that you just read that, you open that, and you open the door. It was a 6-footer.
And the wind
Barrel
blew.
chested.
There we go.
The wind blew his shirt, and you will see his chiseled features. And I saw him, and I began to sweat. And I began to sweat.
You really did read.
I don't miss
Yeah,
out.
you read it.
I don't see that. And I begin to sweat. My heart began to race. Now, why do we chase this? Is it because of what we have read? And then social media has allowed us to believe that if we don't have that, you don't have a relationship. But is that what is pushing it? Or we are just fooling ourselves?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we'll be fooling ourselves if we assume or pretend that these outside influences don't have a way of impacting most people's expectation of what love or chemistry or attraction is. And it shows in conversations. Sometimes you hear a boyfriend or a girlfriend, for example, the lady is telling the guy, oh, you don't do X, Y, and Z. You don't call me at this time. You don't say certain things. But you're forgetting that maybe the character you read in a book, first of all, is a fictional character. You're also forgetting that this person you're looking at is right there in front of you. And it's also a duty to understand this person's how they love, how they express their feeling and all of that. So definitely there's even songs, movies. There's a way that all of these things color your expectation of what your real life scenario should look like. Of course, by all means, I don't want to be on Titanic tomorrow, but it would be a fantastic thing to find some billionaire girl say, look, I'm gonna leave everything because it's
God.
you. I want, like, bro, epic love story now. What they say?
Like the OGs will say, killing me softly. You know that song?
I know the song.
With these
But also, I'm not that young. I know the song.
I'm OG
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
All these Luther Vandross, you just,
Yeah.
you just listen to that song and you're on your bed.
Yeah.
You're already embracing somebody without
Yes,
killing anybody
yes,
on
the
your bed.
Kenny Rogerses and co.
Yo, those things
Yeah,
color, those
yeah,
things color
they
our
do.
mind.
They
follow our
do.
No, but
expectation. I know you are enjoying the conversation. And before you just tune off, I need you to like, to share, to tell somebody about this podcast. We also want to hear from you. If there's a topic you want us to discuss, you have a comment on a topic that we've discussed, please send into the email that will be showing on the screen right now. We'd like to hear from you. Now, let's go back to the conversation.
Fundamentally, though, dopamine
Mm.
released in the brain brings a level of excitement that is addictive. That thing is what the social media companies are riding on.
Yeah.
So with the whole likes and everything. So that chemistry that makes you get attracted to people gives you that dopamine hit in your brain.
Right.
At some point, though, you need to outgrow that dopamine. But the reason why you say some men are irresponsible is because they are constantly chasing that dopamine.
Right.
So the pathway to chasing dopamine is, for some people, they are almost always constantly falling in and out of love with one or two people. Some people go into drugs. Some people go into
Just chasing excitement.
they're just chasing excitement.
Right.
You know, a new babe, a new car, a new trip, a new something. So that dopamine is really something that, you know, affects our brain. But the truth is that at some point you should outgrow it.
But excitement is a good thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Last Valentine, my wife was showing me social media post where somebody just bought a new car, and you know, saying that that's somebody's husband though. And I said, then it's somebody's wife too. Somebody's wife. You don't want us rejecting her. But we crave excitement. But
Yes.
I'm wondering now, these butterflies, can it also be a warning sign? Because it deals with the nervous system, excitement.
A warning sign that
Can
something
it be
is
mentor
going
saying,
right.
Be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful.
Yeah, so there are two types of butterfly. There's the healthy butterfly, and then there's the negative butterfly.
I've
so
never heard of negative
yeah,
before.
so the healthy one is that one of excitement. It brings energy. But there's also a kind of butterfly that actually causes anxiety. So when you see a particular person and you begin to panic, you have panic attacks, something is not right.
Or you are not sure, you are anxious. How is it going to behave?
Anxiety.
Am I safe with this person?
Yeah.
Will it be faithful to me? As I'm chasing this guy, I find him attractive. How many girls find him attractive? You know, you check his calls coming is always Shade, Ade, Bola. You know, out of 20 calls a day, 19 and a half is just so, and they're all his friends. So, but we are constantly on the high, you know, dealing with this guy. Is nature telling you something about this guy or this girl?
It could also be misrepresented, right? So I'm a public speaker, I train, and you know, part of what we tell people is that for no matter how many number of speeches you've given, there will always be butterflies in your belly.
Correct.
Right.
Your job as a good speaker is to be able to manage how you let those butterflies fly information. You control those butterflies. You don't allow the butterflies to control you, right? So likewise, if you are in a relationship or you are getting into a relationship and you are all excited to see the person, that's a healthy sign. Right. But when you are just thinking about the person drains you, just thinking about the person causes you to panic or have an anxiety, or like he said, you don't know there's something wrong, but you can't pinpoint, place your hand or your feet there, then something is not right. So it could be both ways, you know. So it could start with butterflies, but you don't use butterflies to determine whether things work or not. You then go to the next level where you use wise counsel. So you have people around you.
Okay. So if I may just quickly come in and say two things, right? First of all, I mean, when we started this episode, I don't know if either one of you thought it was going to be chemistry plus biology class. I did not, you know, but I appreciate the direction that this is going. But because I have the benefit of the singles perspective, I also just want to be able to dimension what I'm hearing.
Okay.
You know, so on one hand, you're saying that the butterflies are good because it's a healthy signal for what you have with this person.
Maybe good.
But then you talk about the negative butterflies as well, which also could be a signal to if this could potentially work or not. However, there's the next stage, which is where I assume real life sets in. And then you then start to ask yourself questions like, okay, so butterflies, positive or negative, what is the other thing that should sustain this relationship? And I imagine that's what the next set of conversations will be. Okay.
So that leads me to the next question.
Man,
I'll ask you.
I wonder if when I get married, I'll also have these perspectives that both of you have. But let's carry on.
No, butterflies are good because I need to be attracted to the person in front of you. You don't want to ask yourself.
Yes,
you
please.
don't want to ask
Yes,
yourself,
please.
how did I get myself into this? How? You don't want to be attracted to the person you are in. But really, if you ask yourself, what really does love look like? Yeah, somebody told me that love is sacrifice. And then the greatest example is Jesus Christ, and he died. So what is glamorous about somebody dying for you? But probably that's what love looks like.
To die.
That's what love looks like. Somebody that will be there when everybody disappears. For somebody that has been ill before, it's not butterflies in the stomach that you need at that time.
It's butterflies Pro Max.
24/7. It's probably by the side of you. There's somebody that can maybe take a sabbatical from work to be by your side. You know, when your parents leave, somebody that will be there for you, holding your hand. When children are sick, somebody that won't say, no, I don't want to miss the boys' night because there's an excitement going on. You know, so what really is love like? So I will ask you now, and I'm going to put you on the spot. If I ask you what you will look for in the girl that you will likely marry, what will you say?
What would I look for? Like a checklist?
Yes. What will you look for?
Are you sure you want me to share this to the rest of the world? Because now it will alter those. Anyway.
No, so people can come to you. They know what they're looking for.
They know what I'm looking for. We'll share it in the next episode. What am I looking for? I mean, foundationally, they say that because you also want to think about it from a long-term perspective. So values will most likely come into.
I want you to speak. Are you looking for butterflies in the belly or beyond that? What are you looking for?
I also think that, like you said, I definitely want to be attracted to her. So it will be great if she's gorgeous. Emphasis on the word gorgeous. And there's pretty, there's beautiful, but I want a gorgeous woman. Yeah.
If you want to do,
I hope and pray.
If you want to do, just do it.
I hope and pray that she loves people. Genuinely loves people, because I love people, right? And of course, the work I do, the spaces that I serve in, I have to interact with human beings, and I need another human being that understands.
Human beings,
there we go. You notice how I haven't said anything around God just yet, because there's a way that you get into that conversation. You lead with that, and then it's like a smoke screen. I hope that she's gorgeous. I hope that she loves people. She's intelligent, has a sense of humor, because I also can be too serious. I know I'm too serious a lot of the time, but a woman that can, laugh, that can make a joke out of even your being uptight. I like someone like that. Be ambitious, be intelligent, and then of course love God. See, my list is not too serious, but I think that there are things that undergird the kind of life I want to build with the world.
See, basically, what you said is a lot, but what you've not said that can link to what you have said is also a lot. Because what you're saying without saying is that you want someone that you can be your safe space.
Yes.
You want someone that will trust that despite what you are doing, she is uppermost in your mind.
Oh yes, definitely.
Someone that will trust you.
Yes.
Someone that won't be overly argumentative or confrontational.
Definitely.
Someone that will understand the kind of person you are. And so I'm asking myself, that is what love is. Now, you mentioned the attraction.
Yes.
But the attraction was only one part of what you said.
Yes.
3-4 others. So if you're looking at a summing up, attraction is not just like a quarter of what you require.
Maybe even less than.
So the butterfly is just a subset of what you require.
Oh, Pastor Labs, I see what you're doing. You're too wise. This is the problem. But I see what you're doing.
So the butterfly is just a subset of what you require. So you want the butterflies, but beyond the butterflies, you want some safe space, you want some stability, you want some trust, you want comfort, you want to be able to enjoy the person you are with. So I'm asking, are butterflies really important then?
So look at it with this analogy. So see the butterfly like the door, but nobody lives in the door.
There we go.
Do you understand?
You live in the house.
You live inside the house,
right?
But there's something that opens the house to you, or makes you want to enter into the house, and that's the That's the door. So you can't build a relationship. You can't even build a business
Yeah.
on butterflies. And so because I'm a consultant and I see MDs, CEOs making butterfly. You're a legal practitioner, making just based
Based
on
on intuition.
an intuition.
Mm.
Intuition is not bad,
Yeah.
but you can't live your life on intuition
Based on that. Yeah.
right? There are principles of life, there are principles of business, there are principles of corporate governance, and you must. There are times where the whole butterfly thing will come into play, but structure,
Mm.
structure is actually what even makes relationships.
Yeah.
Whether it is whether you are building a family, whether you're building a business, whether you are building a nation, you can't just because it's like there was a time here that somebody can just wake up and make a decision about how he wants the nation to be, and everybody must, without even thinking through the
Mhm.
repercussion of those decisions, right? And that's what butterflies are like.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
So butterflies are not really bad. It helps. That's the door, like you said, the early attraction. But beyond that early attraction, you need to set your life in a way to make it stable,
Yep.
to make it sustainable.
Yeah.
And butterflies probably won't help you
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
If that's
Can I
really-
can I just throw in a question? And I don't know
Please.
if you have that on the notes as well to ask. But again, I really want a scenario where this is helpful for someone. So earlier, Don, you spoke about how these butterflies are like dopamine. So we've established that it creates a sense of high, right? That you could get addicted to. You want it, especially also because you are now staring at the person that you want to build this life with, right? So, but then we're talking about how that butterfly would then transition into love, which is real life. And it's not just the feelings that sustain the love. The door is open now. You have to get into the house. You have to furnish it. You have to hang up the frames and everything.
You have to sweep it.
You have to sweep it, keep it clean per day. So, what would you say I need to do to step out of the high to then be accountable enough to then let myself build this thing that works? Like, what are certain structures I need to put in place? Just for somebody listening, what are some things that you'd say I need to start to think about actively the moment I cross that butterfly phase?
You want Don to start.
No, you have
No,
been
so-
building things for a while.
So the attraction is important.
Yeah.
Really, but being a safe space for your spouse,
Yeah.
complimenting your spouse,
Yeah.
being trustworthy,
Yeah.
being stable. At times, being predictable. They will say it's boring, but knowing that this person, if they call it like 3 times and it's my matter, this is the way it's going to act. It can be safety for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Being loyal is important. Being responsible for that person is, and being sacrificial is very, very important. This sacrificial will come to play when children begin to come. When your in-laws come and they say your father-in-law is sick, and the only one left you have with the account, and you need 700,000 out of that 1 million. So what happens at that time? Are you going to be saying, we need this money for Valentine because I want my wife's dopamine to increase? Are you going to say, I need to save my father-in-law? That's why responsibility comes in. Being able to prioritize the things that are important in your life at that time. So all those things color, and these are the issues that affect the dopamine that you're talking about. When you weigh the minds of people, they forget this dopamine because not really important any longer. And that's why I asked the question: are the butterflies really important? If you watched this film before, Why Did I Get Married? You will see that
The
it was the 80-20.
Yeah. Yeah.
So please, for the
Yeah.
benefit of those that don't know, please, what is 80-20?
80-20 means for my relationship, I need 100%. And somebody has 80 or lacks 20. That 20 could be she doesn't dress well. She doesn't use the right perfume. She doesn't speak for me. That's 20%.
She doesn't get the in
She
it.
doesn't in it. Yeah. So you because of
Sorry,
20%,
these things are
you
important
need
now. What's going on?
80%.
Am I interpreting this wrong?
So people are different. So
Yeah.
you want your wife to come out or husband to come out in a particular way so that it feeds your ego that's my babe. But she doesn't come out that way. But in terms of the children, the solidity of the marriage, she's fine. So you leave that 80% and not after somebody that has the 20%.
That's the 20%.
And now discover when you get in that this person can't change, can't cook, cannot even support you in any way. But when she comes out like that, flash, everything, shining, but the things that really matter to you are not there. So you ask yourself, did I use my 80 or the 20? So I'm worse off. Couldn't I award on this 80 to become 90, 85, 90 or 92
Right.
and make it better?
Right.
And so that's where the 80-20 comes in.
This is your cue to go watch Why Did I Get Married? You have not seen it.
And so in closing, maybe the question we should be
So-
asking ourselves.
Okay, sorry.
Because of time now,
Before we sorry if you don't mind.
Yes.
So before we talk about closing,
Yeah.
I also, while the whole butterfly thing is not something we should build our lives on. But for many of us that are structured people, some of us that are stable people, we should also learn to spice up
Correct.
our relationships and every other thing that we do. So example is people know you as you plan. There are times that you should just
Just be spontaneous.
be
Buy
spontaneous.
flowers.
Buy flowers.
Buy some. Buy
Okay.
gifts. Buy.
Let's travel.
Let's
let's
meet,
go.
meet me somewhere.
Meet me someone.
Surprise your spouse.
You know, and it won't be. It's not something you do regularly.
It's not all
But
the money she used to buy Lekki house.
do you understand?
Spend it for something else once in a while.
Once in a while, just to
Let somebody
just to-
appreciate that you're
yes.
thinking about them.
because Tony Robbins was saying that that there are 6 human needs. The first one is certainty. He said, in God, in his wisdom, created the second one to be uncertainty.
Right.
So you want both certainty and uncertainty. So certainty being that you know what to do, you know how everything goes, but you also like novelty, right? So the way some ladies do it is that they buy new dresses that their husbands have never seen, and when they come out, the husband is like,
Wow.
where did this one come from? And then guys have ways of also, creating novelty in their homes. In fact, my boss at the time said that from after a number of years that they will refresh their rooms. They change almost all the furnitures in the just to make it look new. They don't
Look
have
different.
to. They don't want the whole place to keep looking the same way they've always
I
looked.
have to cut you now because of time. Maybe what you just said is that maybe once in a while, let your wife dress up like a maid.
And no, it's not
Like
not
a maid
it.
or
I'm
a
talking
nurse.
of let
Or
the
you
man
dress up like a mechanic.
let the man also dress
Dress up like Superman.
Let the man dress up like Superman.
We can spice it up once in a while.
Waiting there.
My
Got you.
men are talking. My men are talking. So maybe the real question is not, do I feel butterfly? Is maybe the better one is, do I feel safe, respected, and valued with this person? Do I feel valued with this person? Am I in my safe space when I'm with this person? Maybe that's what we should be looking for. And before we really close, do you have any last words on this?
Yeah, so I would say that it's good to have chemistry
Yeah.
in your relationship, but don't build your life on chemistry.
Right.
Don't build your life on something that can fizzle out, and it can be full today, it can fizzle out tomorrow.
Right.
Build your life on principles.
Right.
Build your life on something more stable.
Right.
However, learn also to spice up things and to have novel experiences
Right.
from time to time.
So
God love the
good.
maid again.
So good. But just riding off of what you said, and I want to combine it with something you said earlier as well when you spoke about love. Because at the end of the day, that's what endures when even the chemistry is not there from time to time. I heard somebody say something once I thought was really profound, and was talking about how the genuine definition of love between two people, for example, is that one person can step out of themselves and let them become the other person. So if I say, for example, that I love a woman, for example, the genuine definition of that love is that I can, quote and unquote, become her. I want what she wants. I want her life to be better. I want her ambition to be greater. I want to serve her. Like I literally become her in my interaction. And the beauty of that kind of love is that you then find another person that also wants to do the exact same thing for you.
Yeah.
That way, nobody feels cheated.
Yeah.
That way, everything is just consummate and it works. I think that when you find a partner like that, on the days where even the chemistry doesn't appear, just like you said, it still endures, and you can then bring in things like spontaneity that will then restore you back to the high that
I
you
think I
had.
need to get one analysis from Wesley. So just tie this up. It has been an exciting discussion, and we are going to go on a break now and come back to something very, very exciting. Don't go away.
Welcome back to the episode on Sozo TV. For this very specific part of the podcast, we want to get into something specifically curated to somebody out there that needs counsel, advice, or just wisdom to navigate a season of their lives. And we're calling it Daddy's Corner. The idea is that you can share something that's boggling your mind at this time, something you need someone to speak life to. You have a question that you're worried about and you just need some wisdom that would sustain this season. You can share that with us. Just send a DM to Instagram or use the link now showing. Send an email, send a message. That way we can actually respond. But as of right now, because we have one story, one experience, if you may, I want to read that out and then, of course, have our daddies respond. Hopefully, we can speak some words of wisdom to this individual and actually help them to navigate this problem that they're going through. This is for both of you now. All right. Let's say my name is Oladimiji. Right? This person wants to be anonymous, but let's say their name is Oladimiji. I've been dating my girl for slightly over 2 years. We are very different people in a weird way. She comes from a very comfortable background. She doesn't ask me for things she knows I cannot afford. Her family has their reservations about my background, but they love my tenacity and that I'm an ambitious person. I recently brought up the marriage conversation and it was met with so much acceptance and joy from my babe. I know I'll make it in life by God, but sometimes I wish I can hasten the process just to have to do things for my woman without overly thinking about it. Is getting married what I should focus on, or focus on getting my money so I can give her a dream life? She's not even mounting any pressure on me. However, I want more for my life and hers. Should I give myself more time to build, or should I build my life with hers as we go through life together? You see, this deep sigh lets me know that I should start with you.
No, because the Oladimeji, if I'll use that, just use that as Oladimeji. Oladimeji needs to sit down with himself first and resolve issues with himself. Oladimeji is self-conscious. Oladimeji is beating himself down. Oladimeji does not understand yet that he has a good woman by his side. If Oladimeji does not deal with himself first, it's going to cause major ripples in that relationship. Now, he said there's no pressure on him to do anything. He's been accepted into that family, yet he still feels unworthy without anybody telling him that he's unworthy. Now, because if you remember, because I read Bible a lot, when the children of Israel said we were like grasshoppers in their sight, anybody calling them grasshoppers.
Right.
So Oladimeji is beating himself down. He has assessed himself and judged himself and given a verdict. So Oladimeji does not need to go and make money first. He can make his life with this woman. But before getting into this relationship, he needs to first deal with himself. Otherwise, it's going to cause major blows upon this woman. He is going to bleed on this girl. Because when they come in, comments will come. I'll give an example. You marry into a wealthy family, and they have parties. And they can do the parties like 4 times a month.
Yes.
And they're going to do Ashwebi.
Yes.
And the Ashwebi is not Ashwebi of 10,000 naira.
Yes.
So when he marries that girl and they begin to ask for the Ashwebis and the parties the girl is used to going all her life, and they begin to say these clothes are too expensive. Where do you expect us to make this money from? The selling begins to come in. They are driving Rolls Royce. You are managing your Toyota Corolla. If you cannot stand where you are now and feel self-sufficient because nobody is pressurizing you, you're going to cause a major problem for this girl. So Oladimeji needs to first sit down, ask himself, can I cope with what I want to get myself into? There'll be side comments when they're discussing in the family. Now, can I sit down and tell myself that I will not think they're speaking about me while they are really not, but because it's stray bullets that will be coming? Can I live with this? If you cannot, just let this girl go.
Right.
Because you're not enough for this girl. But if you can get over yourself and get into the groove and understand that whatever comes, I'm focusing on this girl and this babe. God has sent this babe to him.
Right. Don, I want to ask you to also respond to this, but I want you to respond in a different light because I don't want us to speak to the same thing twice. So I want to flip the question on its head a little bit, right?
Okay.
I really love, how you spoke to the subject of self-consciousness because it's easy for someone to miss it in this story. But if I just take the last paragraph of that question, and that's what I want to throw to you, should I give myself more time to build? Or should I build my life with hers as we go through this life together? So let's imagine a scenario where self-consciousness is not necessarily the problem of the guy, right? But maybe he's in a comfortable place. And I ask this question because we're in a day and time now where even from the lady, there's an expectation for how the guy should show up. There's a certain status that you should have before you consider marriage.
He said the girl does not mind.
No, this girl doesn't mind. But I'm asking a scenario where maybe she does mind. Or maybe you are around people who will say, for example, because let's be honest, there are some people today that says, I want to get married tomorrow. And the first thought that comes to your mind is you want to get married. Like, what are you thinking about? So the question really is, should there be a level where a man or even a woman, because again, women do watch this, would you say that there's a point that you can get to conveniently where you would advise that you can start to actually think about marriage now?
If you can take care of yourself and take care of another person, you're ready.
How do I know?
How you would know is so like he said, being ready is not about the resources you have.
No.
Right.
Because we all know people that are very well to do, but they are not ready. So it's in your mind, you already know that I can take responsibility for myself, another person, and a child if a child is added.
Right.
So that the work of building that he's talking about is building himself, right? Building his esteem, and recognizing one thing, there's something that happened in the Bible where that happened between the apostles and the man at the beautiful gate. He said something that I believe that the guy needs to go and really think about, meditate upon. He said, silver and gold have I none, but such as I have, I give unto you.
Right.
I may not have money, but I have something.
That's more valuable.
If I recognize the work the guy needs to do is to recognize what it is he has,
right,
that girl needs, that he can use to build the girl,
or that the next phase of your life needs.
Exactly.
Right.
So she has wealthy parents, but she also has a purpose.
Right.
She has something that God is also calling her to do in this life. Can I contribute to it? Can I give advice? Do I have one or two connections that can help her achieve her goal? Do I have encouragement to give? The moment I have built myself to recognize that value, and I'm already beginning to build that value, and then also I have what it takes to take care of, my immediate family, right? At least a reasonable to a reasonable standard, then I think you're ready. And because the lady is also not putting pressure and she's willing to build with you, you both can build together until you get to a certain level. And like I said, rich people like to do parties. They like to do all those things.
Yeah.
But there's also a wise way of doing, engaging those kind of parties. You don't have to buy all the ashwebis. You can show up. Right? You can help out. You can, depending on the kind of gifts you have, there are many ways you can contribute to the life of a wealthy person, right? If you are not wealthy in yourself, but don't look down on what you have.
There is a question there that said that can he build with this person or can build himself first?
Right.
And it's a mistake that young people make. You think that it's better to try and hustle. Hustle is the word they use on your own. And then when you've made it, you come back. Now,
assuming that she'll be waiting for you.
Yes. Now, the best way to build is to have somebody join you. When the word of God says that one will chase 1,000 and two will chase 10,000, that is the multiples of what you can do on your own.
Yeah.
You can imagine if he has a good head on his shoulders and he has the kind of support that this is why he will give, the kind of connections and business he can do with the kind of support that he will give. Instead of 5 years, you can do it in 2 years. However, there's something that he needs to do. He needs to be very transparent. He needs to be honest in his views. And he cannot begin to take things for granted any longer. It cannot make assumptions. I mean, oh, so this person is talking to me. No, you can't no longer make assumptions. You have to see this girl down there. This is where we are. This is what I can do right now. This is what my plan is. And it's this girl that will be defending you where our family is at. Because whether we like it or not, some people will call the boy a gold digger in that family. They will say, why are you going out with these idiots? This never. There are people that, in your class, they will say those things. But what the guy must do is to ignore those things and focus on the person that he is with. If he's convinced that this person is on his side, then he should go ahead. And because what we do is listen to our friends, listen to side comments, and ego comes to the fore, and then you begin to do poor man shakara is a lot. Poor man shakara is a lot. Everything you say for a poor man, he gets angry. It's an offense, it's an insult, because it's coming from a point of where I don't want to be disrespected. I need to guard. Why are you guarding? Just be open with your girlfriend. Let the girlfriend, and girlfriend is the one that will push for you. She's the one that will call one uncle in London that my husband can do this, my husband can do that, and open the door for you.
Right.
And then you just discover in 2 years' time that what happened to me?
Right.
What happened to me? But he has to develop some qualities, some values, and he has to forget one or some. In fact, he has to drop some of his friends.
A lot.
Because if you don't know those friends,
They will sabotage you.
Be guarding, these rich people. So if you are convinced that this is a lady for you, has all the qualities you have, focus on this lady, and then be transparent, be honest, open up your fears, tell her how you are feeling. I'm afraid. This is your my best car is a Toyota Corolla. That's what you give to your chef to be driving to work so that I won't be late. So when I come and your chef comes, his own car is even a better model than my own. I feel, self-conscious when I come in. Let the girl, reassure you.
Right.
And then you take it from there.
Right.
I think if we can do all these things, I think it will be in a good position.
Wow. Do you have anything on top of this?
I know, just serve. So marriages are built on service, right? Serve your woman, serve their family. In serving, you can never lose.
But you may become the son, and the girl becomes the outsider.
Do you understand? So it's if forget about what you don't have right now, and what you have is this lady.
Yeah.
You already have your own work that you are doing. Do the best you can at work while you look out for the interest of your lady, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right.
And you think your parents-in-laws are not looking?
No, they're looking. They accepted him. There's a reason they accepted him.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing I absolutely enjoy with sitting with these men every time we get to do this episode is the privilege of contributing to the conversation, but more importantly, to actually learn. But this is the most that we can take on this episode of Daddy's Corner. Once again, this is to share with someone watching this. Please send us your stories, send us your thoughts, send us your comments, send us that thing that's troubling you at this time so that someone might indeed share a word of wisdom or even a prayer, depending on what's needed at the time, just so that your life can actually be better. I think that on this note, we'll probably draw the curtain on this episode for Sozo TV. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.